second half. Kind of dictated a little bit more of our flow, but I thought we did a great job of still navigating the matchups that we wanted.
Many people around the basketball world believed certain defensive schemes were being built specifically to frustrate Caitlin Clark and challenge her under the brightest possible spotlight. From the moment she entered the professional game, Clark carried enormous expectations along with unprecedented media attention, record-breaking ratings, and a level of popularity the league had never experienced before. But with that fame also came a massive target. Throughout her rookie season, fans constantly debated whether veteran players and opposing defenses were intentionally trying to wear her down physically and mentally. Hard fouls, aggressive traps, relentless pressure defense, and non-stop scrutiny quickly became part of every nationally televised matchup. Critics questioned whether her college dominance would translate against experienced professionals, while supporters argued she was facing a level of hostility rarely seen toward a rookie athlete. The atmosphere surrounding Clark became bigger than basketball itself. For many veterans around the league, the sudden explosion of attention, endorsement deals, and media focus surrounding one incoming rookie created obvious tension. Fans could sense the emotional intensity building with every game, every hard screen, and every heated matchup. But what many critics underestimated, according to supporters, was Clark's ability to respond under pressure. The more doubt and physicality thrown at her, the more determined she often appeared to become. One of the most talked-about matchups came against a defensive game plan associated with assistant coach Natalie Nakase, widely respected as one of the sharpest strategic minds in professional basketball. Nakase built her reputation through years of coaching experience, including time within NBA systems, where she developed a reputation for detailed defensive preparation and advanced tactical planning. According to analysts, the defensive strategy designed against Clark focused on removing her comfort zones entirely. Instead of allowing her space to control the tempo, defenses aggressively trapped her off screens, pressured her immediately after crossing half court, and forced the ball out of her hands as quickly as possible. The goal was clear: disrupt the fast-paced rhythm and deep shooting range that made Clark so dangerous offensively. Early in the game, the strategy appeared devastatingly effective. Clark struggled to find open looks, Indiana's offense became chaotic, and the opposing defense constantly pressured passing lanes. Every possession looked uncomfortable. Turnovers piled up. Difficult shots replaced smooth ball movement. Veteran defenders added verbal pressure on top of the physical defense, trying to make the rookie feel overwhelmed under the national spotlight. Social media immediately exploded with reactions. Critics claimed the blueprint to stop Clark had finally been discovered, while opposing fans celebrated what looked like a complete defensive masterclass. On the sidelines, the opposing coaching staff appeared calm and confident as the game unfolded exactly according to plan during the first half. For a moment, it genuinely looked like the harshest critics might finally be proven right, that the pressure, physicality, and tactical adjustments had completely disrupted the rookie superstar. But as many fans have learned throughout Clark's career, containing a generational talent for an entire game is very different from slowing them down temporarily. The deeper the frustration grew, the more the momentum of the game began shifting emotionally. And once Clark finally adjusted to the defensive pressure, the entire energy inside the arena started changing in ways nobody expected. Inside the locker room at halftime, the mood surrounding the Indiana Fever reportedly felt incredibly tense as the team faced the possibility of a humiliating loss. While nobody knows exactly what was said behind closed doors, speculation from fans and insiders suggested there was a serious emotional reset taking place between the players and coaching staff. Caitlin Clark was not only battling one of the toughest defensive schemes she had faced all season, but also carrying the emotional weight of constant pressure, non-stop criticism, and the physical punishment that had followed her since entering the league. Many players would have cracked under that kind of spotlight. But supporters have consistently argued that Clark responds differently when challenged. According to rumors surrounding the halftime atmosphere, she reportedly made it clear to teammates that the second half needed to become far more aggressive offensively. Instead of continuing to play directly into the defense's traps, the Fever needed to completely alter the pace and spacing of the game. The coaching staff also appeared to make important tactical adjustments during halftime. Indiana began setting screens higher on the floor, introducing more movement away from the ball, and creating actions designed to disrupt the timing of the aggressive traps. The opposing defense still planned to pressure Clark heavily, but the structure around her suddenly became much more difficult to predict. When the third quarter started, the entire energy inside the arena immediately shifted. Clark crossed half court, saw the double team forming again, and instead of backing away from the pressure, she launched an incredibly deep three-pointer directly over the defense. The shot dropped cleanly through the net, stunning the crowd and instantly changing the emotional momentum of the game. From that point forward, everything accelerated. Clark began attacking the defense with a completely different level of confidence and rhythm. She delivered fast, perfectly timed passes through tiny openings that barely seemed possible. Teammates started cutting into open space. Transition opportunities appeared everywhere. The same defensive system that looked dominant during the first half suddenly started breaking apart possession after possession. Whenever defenders pressured her too far from the basket, Clark attacked off the dribble and collapsed the defense before kicking the ball out to open shooters. When defenders hesitated for even a second, she punished them with deep three-pointers from well beyond the arc. Every adjustment the defense attempted created another opening somewhere else on the floor. The transformation was dramatic. What had started as a nightmare matchup for Indiana suddenly became a showcase of offensive creativity and shot-making brilliance. The pace of the game completely flipped. The opposing players looked exhausted trying to keep up with the movement, spacing, and constant pressure Clark was creating offensively. The arena erupted as possession after possession swung in Indiana's favor. But perhaps the most striking part of the comeback was not simply the scoring explosion itself. It was the visible emotional collapse happening on the opposing sideline. The confidence that had defined the first half slowly disappeared as the defensive game plan unraveled in real time against one of the most dangerous offensive players in basketball. The physical defense, the criticism, the media noise, and the constant scrutiny all seemed to fuel her competitor. Natalie Nakase stood near the sideline watching the game completely unravel in front of her eyes. The confidence that defined the first half slowly disappeared as the defensive system she had carefully built started collapsing possession after possession. Her strategy had worked brilliantly against elite guards before, but suddenly a rookie was tearing through every adjustment within minutes. Coaches on the bench began shouting frantic instructions, substitutions came rapidly, and defenders searched desperately for answers that never arrived. But when a truly special player catches fire under pressure, even the smartest defensive game plans can start falling apart. Clark entered a level offensively where every decision felt unstoppable. Television cameras captured defenders throwing their hands up in frustration while coaches stared down at clipboards searching for solutions that simply were not there. The aggressive traps, the physical defense, and the constant pressure no longer looked effective once Clark fully adjusted to the pace of the game. Her shot selection became fearless. Deep three-pointers from impossible distances started falling with incredible consistency. Passing lanes that looked closed seconds earlier suddenly opened because Clark processed the defense faster than anyone else on the floor. Every hesitation by defenders became a scoring opportunity. Every aggressive rotation created another opening for Indiana's offense. What made the performance feel so overwhelming was not only the scoring itself, but the emotional impact it had on the opposing team. The defense that entered the game looking confident and fully prepared suddenly looked exhausted, frustrated, and completely shaken. The same critics who spent the first half celebrating Indiana's struggles quickly watched the entire momentum swing in the opposite direction. By the time the final buzzer sounded, the atmosphere around the game had completely changed. The comeback victory did far more than add another win to Indiana's record. It sent a message across the entire league. The constant discussions about a rookie wall immediately lost credibility after Clark dissected one of the most aggressive defensive strategies she had faced all season. Opposing teams realized that even carefully designed game plans could completely collapse once she found her rhythm offensively. Social media reactions flipped instantly. Early criticism disappeared, and conversations shifted toward how difficult it might actually become to contain Clark long-term. Analysts began focusing less on whether she could survive at the professional level and more on how high her ceiling could ultimately reach. After the game, even opposing players and commentators appeared stunned by the adjustment she made during the second half. What separated the performance was not just talent, but adaptability. Clark processed defensive pressure in real time, identified weaknesses almost immediately, and executed counters with remarkable confidence under enormous pressure. For Indiana, the victory became a defining emotional moment. It reinforced the belief that the team could compete with elite opponents when the offense flowed through its generational point guard. The comeback also strengthened the growing feeling around the league that Clark was evolving faster than many people expected. In the end, the performance became larger than a single basketball game. Natalie Nakase's defensive preparation was respected throughout basketball circles, and for one half it looked nearly perfect. But instead of breaking the rookie mentally, the pressure appeared to unlock another level in her game. Edge rather than weaken it. Clark did not simply survive one of the toughest defensive challenges of her season. She completely transformed the game after halftime and reminded the basketball world why so many people believe she represents the future of the sport. And for many teams around the league, that realization may be the most intimidating part of all, because despite everything already happening around her career, Caitlin Clark still looks like a player who is only beginning to tap into her full potential.